Welcome back to Elementary Latin. We're using the book Minimus. We are on page 4. All right, so open up to page 4. Let's take a look at this. Grasp the grammar. Have another look at the picture story where you met Flavius and his family. In the Latin sentences, you met a number of nouns. A noun is a naming word like mus, a mouse, feles, a cat, mater, a mother, and the name Flavia. We often just say nouns are persons, places, and things. Using the Latin word for I am, which is what? Sum. That's right. Introduce yourself to a partner. Try to make your name sound like a Latin name. You can add us to your name if you're a boy, and you can add a if you're a girl. So if your name is Mark, in Latin your name is Marcus. If your name is Helen, your name is Helena. If your name already ends in an A, like, or another vowel, like Anastasia or Chloe, you can just leave it like that. But a boy like Cody would be Codius. Very nice. Ethan, Ethanus. Okay, yeah, nice. And so you can introduce yourself. So you'd say, Codius sum, right? I am Codius. Or Anastasia sum, I'm Anastasia, whatever the case may be. And now ask your partner his or her name by asking the Latin question, which means, who are you? Do you remember that from last time? How do you say who? You remember? Quis. Quis es. Who are you? Quis es. In B, this is a short Latin phrase for nota bene, which means note well. The men and boys have names ending in us, for example, Flavius, Corinthus. The women and girls have names ending in a, for example, Flavia, Lepidina. Right. Continue reading on page 4. Flavius, the father of our family, is in charge of the Roman fort at Windolanda. He and his family lived there in the year about AD. Do you remember what AD means for? What does it mean, yes? Anno Domini, in the year of the Lord's year. Anno Domini, in the year of the Lord, 97 to 102. When you come across dates in history, it's important to check whether they refer to a time BC, before Christ, or AD, Anno Domini. AD is short for Anno Domini, which means in the year of the Lord. So, some dates you can remember. Julius Caesar, his whole name, Gaius Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar, we say in English, but he would have said Julius Caesar. A Roman general brings his army to Britain, but doesn't stay long. Christ is born in the Roman province of Palestine. In AD 43, the Roman Emperor Claudius invades Britain and conquers it. In AD 66, the Celtic queen Boudica rebels, burns London, but is defeated. In AD 100, Flavius and his family live at Windolanda. And in AD 122, the Emperor Hadrian builds a wall across northern Britain. So some interesting things from history there. And when we're done with today's lesson, you can get more practice. You guys can always pause the tape, like when we have one of those exercises where it's, introduce yourself to a partner, practice your name, and so forth. You can pause the video and practice that if you like at that point. But now we'll move on to page 5, the birthday party. One day, Lepidina receives an exciting letter from her friend Claudia, who lives in another Roman fort. So here's the letter. I'll read it a couple words at a time, and you repeat it. Carissima Lepidina. Carissima Lepidina. Dearest Lepidina. You can see there's your words to help. Carissima Lepidina. This next one is interesting. You see that I. That's, of course, a Roman numeral, and that means trace. So trace idus septembres, means 3 days before the Ides of September. That's how they did their dates. You don't need to worry about that right now. They tell you right now it means the 11th, right? The 11th of September. Veni ad diem natalem meum. Veni ad diem natalem meum. Let's try that again. Veni ad diem natalem meum. I am coming is what Veni means. Remember that? I am coming. Ad diem natalem meum. For my birthday. Diem natalem. I'm coming for my birthday. Vale soror anima mea, Claudia. Vale means goodbye. Soror means sister. Anima mea, my soul, or my heart, my dearest, right? So, goodbye, sister, my dearest, my heart, my soul, Claudia. All right, so that's the letter she shows. And this photograph shows the actual birthday invitation found at Windolanda. Because remember, in this book, we're reading about a real family. And so there you can see that Latin handwriting is kind of hard to read. Can you even pick out any letters in there? It can be very difficult. You have folks study for a long time so they can read that old handwriting. It's very difficult. That's all we're going to do for today's lesson, just these 2 pages, 4 and 5 in Chapter 1. So you can review them. You can practice writing the letter. The most important thing to do when you close your books today, though, is to add those words on page 5 to your vocabulary notebook. So you should have a notebook where you're writing down in 2 columns the Latin word and its meaning in English. And so you should do that with carissima, tres idus, diem natalum, soror, and anima on page 5. And that will do it for today's lesson.